So I wanted to kind of branch out a little bit and go over the top 5 takeaways from EVO 22 this year. According to me, anyway. And starting with number 5, I was gonna go with the Street Fighter 6 content because I feel like in Street Fighter 6, like we already kind of knew the characters that were coming out. It was hype, you know. Everyone's obviously excited for Street Fighter 6, but like I said, the characters were leaked. You know, like we knew Guile was coming out, we knew DJ was coming out, we knew Kimberly. You know, we knew all the characters that were actually going to come out. You know, we knew Luke was going to be back in the game. So there wasn't really anything that we learned that was new. It was just more of the fact that we knew that, like, it was really just more about, like, you know, seeing certain moves. Like we saw Juri, you know, get her move. Like we saw this ultra combo looking move which is kind of reminiscent of Guy's, you know, ultra combo 1 in Street Fighter 4. So this was kind of reminiscent of that a little bit. But even with Juri, as you'll see, like there's some nostalgia there, where she has a move that looks like her Ultra too. But we basically knew like all the characters that are coming out, so it was just a matter of, you know, seeing the details of how the characters would look. But it's definitely impressive, you know. But that's why I had this at number 5 and not like number, you know, like my number 2 takeaway. But as you can see, Juri here, Juri looks great, you know. And real quick before I go to number 4, I want you to see this Juri combo that she has going on. It's that's pretty sick though. Like I honestly, like, I want to play. I've already decided I want to main DJ, but some of these characters will probably come out before DJ does. I might actually consider trying to pick up Juri. Here's the combo I was talking about though. Very hype. See, this is new. Like we didn't know that Ultra 2 was going to be coming back in this game. The Street Fighter 6 content at number 5. Beautiful, beautiful. At number 4, I had to put one of the greatest. Actually, I'm just gonna say it. The greatest Street Fighter player ever. Not Street Fighter 5 player, but greatest Street Fighter player ever. You know, he's just the most well-known. I feel like he's just the best. You know, the fact that he's back in top 8, and you know, in this past EVO is very impressive. You know, that can't be stated enough. You know, like the fact that he's, you know, we saw what he did in Third Strike and the other Street Fighter games, especially Street Fighter 4, like with all the difficult FADC combos. You know, just incredibly impressive. So those are always fun to watch. I do feel like there was a little extra hype being placed on Daigo a little bit. I feel like Daigo doesn't need the extra commentary, and I understand what the commentators here are trying to do. I'm gonna show you an example in a minute, but I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to hype it up, and it's very exciting. But Daigo doesn't need extra, you know, hype. Let me show you what I'm talking about real quick. Just give me one moment.
Of course, for Guile, he's got a lot of other tools, but as he tries it, Gachikun gets the corner again.
The first EX wake-up flash kick, Daigo establishing that right away. One of the hardest people to read whether he's going to EX flash kick or not.
He put a little stutter in there. Gachikun did not take the bait.
So you do realize there's Guiles in Gold League that are hard to read. You know, like it's just, you don't really know, like you never know what Guile's going to do. That's part of, you know, his specialty is EX his EX flash kick. No one really knows. Like every Guile's hard to read. Like there's Guiles in Platinum, you know, there's Guiles in Gold, there's Guiles in Silver. It's just hard to read what they're going to do. Like no one really knows. So like I feel like that, you know, stuff like that's not really necessary. We don't need to, you know, put extra hype on Daigo. Like he's, you know, his work is already goes without saying. And then we saw it again here. Let's check out this one real quick.
Here we go.
Safeguard himself. Here's Idom.
Is this another Idom comeback? Oh my God, it's still going. He gets
Here's
the hit.
Idom.
Yep. Ah, the Ume flash kick is in the house.
Guile win.
He said, Daigo and getting a read on him, on Daigo? Good luck.
So hard to do. So very, very difficult.
Okay, so it's a flash kick. You know, it's not that hard to do. It's really not. You know, Daigo is a very simple character. it's hard for me to like heap too much praise. Like just the fact that he's using one of the most simple characters in the game. Like I said, Daigo's great. He's one of my favorites. And I think the greatest Street Fighter player ever. But I mean, it's Guile at the end of the day. It's really not that hard. Flash kick. Everybody that's ever played Street Fighter can basically do a flash kick. It's not hard. Let's pump the brakes just a little bit there. But I like what they're trying to do. They're trying to hype everything up. But like, come on, it's a flash kick. Come on. So at number 3, it's out of respect that I actually put Punk at number 3, because Punk was considered widely one of the best Street Fighter V players for the longest time. Maybe the best Street Fighter V player at one point, and he's fallen hard since Capcom Cup. And we saw it a little bit. We saw a struggle at Red Bull Kumite. I'm sorry. We've seen him struggle there. We've seen him struggle a lot lately. Like basically, he's just going to tournaments and name only. So it's kind of been a struggle. And my theory is very clear that he just doesn't play Street Fighter V enough. Like he's been, I think Punk is actually suffering from a condition that's ironically a Street Fighter VI feature, which is burnout. Punk is actually suffering from real life burnout. And as you can see, like when he streams, half the time he's not even streaming with, if he's even streaming Street Fighter V, like half the time he's streaming, Guilty Gear, he's streaming something else, Dragon Ball Z Fighters, or he's working on his Dan or something like that. Like he just doesn't play his characters. He doesn't play Karen enough. I haven't seen him play Colleen in ages. So that's really the number one takeaway for me is like he just doesn't play enough. And like think about it. When's the last time you've seen his Karen? Like I haven't seen his Karen ever since. So my recommendation for Punk is actually just, and I know I'm just a low diamond Colleen player. I don't know what I'm talking about, but no, seriously, like my recommendation for him would be just to find a quiet account. Like just go on a dummy account and just play Karen. Play nothing but Karen. No one will ever know it's Punk. Like just literally just do that because you have to keep your Karen fresh. Your Karen's very, very sloppy. Considered his standards. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Like it's not just me. It's let's see what some of the commentators had to say.
Much better now than in the earliest iterations, but still, as you said, the forward-moving crash.
What is happening? He can still get so much more after the EX Tenko. He didn't even attempt to go for the V skill. I don't understand.
So you saw there, basically, it's just rust. Like that's what it is. Like he's missing opportunities. His Karen's rusty. Like at the end of the day, you just got to go back and you just got to play. At the end of the day, and that's like I said, that's the thing that I see with Punk is that first of all he's not playing Street Fighter V enough, and then when he does play Street Fighter V, he just doesn't play his main characters. If you look at Idom, you look at a lot of the winners. They're not saying Punk's not a winner, but like he hasn't been a winner lately. Look at Daigo's stream. He's playing Guile. Look at Idom's stream. He's playing his main characters, Laura and Poison. Look at any winner. Look at Problem X playing by all of these guys are just playing their main characters on stream, and they're not afraid to and I think with Punk it's like more of a pride thing. You know what I mean? Like he's just you don't deserve my Karen. I think that's his mindset. But you got to get out of that, and you just got to play Karen, even if it's on the dummy account. And here's another. Well, let's look at the ending of EVO real quick for Punk anyway. This was top 8. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. He didn't make it to top 8. This is like before top 8. But let's check this out real quick.
That would have been dead anyway. Oh no, it happens to all of us.
He gets a good punish here. And there's a big shimmy miss right there. Did you see the missed shimmy? That's huge. Huge.
Takes it to 0 against Punk's Karen.
That is a huge statement.
Yeah, I feel like we've caught Punk in a transitional period where he's looking for the character that is the one that's going to get the job done for him. I've seen him using Luke the last couple of days, and his Luke's looking very dangerous. The Karen just doesn't look as terrifying as it did in seasons past. We saw that when he pulled the Karen out in Saudi Arabia recently. We saw it there, as you were questioning some of the conversions, the follow-ups as well. that Karen just doesn't look as terrifying as it used to do. It doesn't have that same aura around it.
It definitely felt out of character. There were certain sequences where he could have followed up. There was actually one, like even like 2 sequences before he had missed the EX Tenko into the V skill. There was a moment where he actually got EX Tenko and actually missed a side switch. I'm like, what was the intention here? It was very uncharacteristic of Punk, to be quite honest with you. I don't know what it could.
Yeah, unfortunately that concludes Punk and EVO. Like I said, you just gotta play your main character. Like, just grind your main character all day. I don't know what I'm talking about, right? I'm just a low diamond Colleen player. I don't go to tournaments. I want to go to a tournament, but trust me, you know, that's what it is. If you look at, like I said, if you look at all the winners, you know, look at everybody in top 8. They just grind their main character. You know. But anyway, let's get to the next one. So at number 2, I had to go with Kawano in this situation. This was a tough decision for me, you know, number 1 and number 2. But Kawano won EVO, very impressive, you know, especially given like the fact that Colleen was nerfed. You know, Colleen was nerfed quite a bit. Her Crouching Fierce was nerfed. Colleen's my character too, so I'm a little familiar with, you know, her nerfs. It didn't really change. It didn't change. You know, like obviously the V Trigger 2 nerf. You know, there's like a few nerfs that were, you know, kind of significant, but at the end of the day, the impressive thing about this is that, you know, people were saying that Colleen was nerfed because Kawano beat Daigo, and literally for Kawano to come out here and just, you know, beat everybody, like literally, like the fact that he won the championship is, you know, says a lot. So he basically just disregarded everything Capcom did. They made it hard on him, and Kawano still came out. I know a lot of people were saying that, you know, Colleen was dead. They were saying the same thing about Cammy too. Cammy got pretty significant nerfs. But yeah, just the fact that he came out there and won, I had to give him a high spot. I gave him my number 2 spot, and you know, it's just incredible. You know, seeing him. You know, and then here's the ending right here. Just impressive, you know. No one saw this coming. Like, there's not a single person. If anyone predicted that Kawano would win EVO, I'd be shocked. I mean, I don't think anyone picked Kawano to win EVO. Nothing against Kawano, but just the fact that Colleen got nerfed so much. So just very impressive. As a Colleen main, I was very excited to see this. Actually, I was excited. Like, it was kind of bittersweet because I wanted to see Idom win it, but. This was awesome. So at number 1, I had to put Idom number 1, you know, for my number 1 takeaway at EVO, just because he's proven people like me wrong. You know, like I honestly, you know, Capcom Cup, you know, we saw Capcom Cup, we saw Red Bull Kumite, we saw, you know, a lot of different performances, you know, winning, you know, different tournaments here and there. I honestly, like, I was just kind of thinking like Capcom Cup was more of a aberration, like he just kind of got, you know, kind of fell into the right situation at the right time, but I was wrong. You know, I admit I was wrong. I'd have to swallow my pride a little bit. We saw him, you know, take out Tokido. We saw him take out Daigo. We saw him take out Gachikan. You know, he had some, you know, impressive runs against, you know, a lot of different players. You know, so it's been pretty impressive. You know, so I think, given like the number of players that he had to take out, obviously, like, he was in losers finals, or he was in like the losers round. So like, obviously, you're gonna see a lot of different. Like, the path is going to be a little bit harder. You can't blame Kawano for, you know, having an easier run because he earned his way into winners finals. I'm not saying that he didn't, but I just feel like Idom outplayed Kawano just a little bit. You know, I feel like, you know, so I had to put Idom number 1. And one of the more impressive runs that I saw was him avenging himself against Mr. Crimson. You know, like I don't know, I thought Mr. Crimson had his number, but Idom made an adjustment. You know, he took the set 3 games to 1. To me, that was like probably one of the more impressive parts of the, you know, of the tournament to me, for him. So, and then of course, like we saw in the grand finals, you know, against Kawano, it just went down to the wire. You know, like it went all the way down to the wire. This was a lot of fun to watch. You know, part of me was rooting for Colleen just because, you know, Colleen is my main, but also, you know, also Idom's a great guy. You know, he's definitely one of the more humbled people that you'll see in the FGC. Very likable, you know, easy to like him. Great player. I think he's the all-time greatest Street Fighter V player. To me, I mean, I was proven wrong. I have to swallow my pride and admit that I was wrong. But let's take a look at let's listen to what the commentators had to say at the end. I thought it described my thoughts exactly.
He lost to Reinhardt, did Idom, and after that again, Joey, Dankadias, Terrence, JB, Cien, Angry Bird, and then in top 8, Mr. Crimson, Daigo, Tokido, Gachikun. And then first set on Kawano, so it kind of Kawano also, but
yeah, so I think that pretty much sums it up, you know, like he did everything except win, you know, at the end of the day. So it's tough. It was tough to watch. I thought that he was gonna pull it off, but you know, it was a good match for Kawano as well. Give him credit, but you know, definitely an impressive run. But yeah, so that includes the video, guys. If you like today's video, please consider liking, subscribing. Give me a comment. You know, what are your final takeaways? You know, what did you like the most? What stuck out to you the most? And I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.